The weirdest relationship I ever had. A few days ago, my relationship came to an end. It was only 3 months long, but the whole thing was a wild roller coaster of unbelievable and unpredictable events. Looking back, I feel like a gullible idiot and don't blame anyone for feeling the same towards me. But to my defense, a lot of the details pressured me into trusting and staying in the relationship. I am not new to relationships and never had an issue getting girls, but right before I started this roller coaster, I was in a 2-year relationship that I ended because I just realized we were not really compatible due to not sharing any hobbies and a decent language barrier. I felt terrible for hurting her, but after having 5 months to improve myself and really think about what I wanted in a relationship, I felt ready to date again. I got on the Hinge dating app and quickly got into the groove of flirting, talking to girls again. I, 27, was not interested in hookups and was only searching for potential relationships. I eventually picked the girl I ended up dating, 27F. Her sexuality was labeled pansexual, which kind of threw me off, but after some research, it just seemed like being a picky bisexual. Not a big deal. Our conversations were surprisingly fun and unlike any girl before. She had a good sense of humor and seemed to be down to earth, sharing the same morals and boundaries I had. She was not much my type physically, but her personality made me really attracted to her. After a few days, we talked on the phone for hours, and she eventually tells me she has only been on one date in her life and has never had a boyfriend, and obviously the things that come with it like virginity and so on. Understandably, I am quite skeptical and find it weird, but all I can do is keep an eye out for signs of lying. I would usually move on respectfully after hearing this because it is a lot of pressure, and if things don't work out, you'll feel terrible. But we clicked so well, and I really felt like I found the match I never had before. We talked for about another 2 weeks before meeting. During this time, she tells me she would like me to know something about her before moving on. She has been diagnosed with BPD, borderline personality disorder. I ask her what that all entails, and she describes it as when she gets mad about something, she can get extremely mad. It sounds scary, but from so many stories she has told me, it seems like she honestly doesn't get mad enough to be honest, such as forgiving people immediately for doing terrible things like totaling her car or scamming her. With this in mind, I don't make it a big deal, but again, keeping an eye out for those symptoms, scheduling to meet was hard because she works 6 days a week and gets off late. We planned to meet at a 24-hour restaurant to sit in a car and talk, but last minute she decided to just come over to my place. This is a little strange for a first date that's not a hookup, but I assume she feels safe because I am in a wheelchair. She comes over and we have a great time talking until 4 a.m. and she leaves. The next day she is saying how much fun she had and is surprised I didn't try to make a move on her. I explained that since she is a virgin and all, that would be really inappropriate for me, not to mention she worked all day and went to the gym before coming over. Gross. She said it was really respectful, but if I would have tried to, she would have probably had sex. I feel really weird considering the bizarre nature of a virgin of 27 years willing to give it up so quickly. I begin not to believe her, obviously. She tells me that it's just because she is tired of not knowing that part of life and just wants to rip the band-aid off. I ask why she is a virgin in the first place and explains an extremely traumatic event that happened to her as a child. I try to be understandable, and it does seem logical, so I continue with her. I tell her to really make sure that's what she wants, and we can go ahead and do it. So the next day, we do. She definitely acted like a virgin considering how awkward and unnatural it felt despite my best efforts to make things comfortable and straightforward. Right after sex, she says we should get matching tattoos, something with names. Dumbfounded, I tell her how insane it is to even think about that, and I would never get anyone's name on me. She insists that she would never regret it even if things did end badly. I try to explain why it's crazy, but drop it, chalking it up to just losing her virginity, and emotions are high. She then asks if I want to hear something crazy. Sure. She said that she wanted to get a surgery to have a grafted penis attached to her body above her vagina. Not joking. I try to stay calm and just ask questions, because for me, and probably the world, this is insane. She might have picked up my concern, because when I ask when she wanted this, she says as a kid, and she knows it is a crazy thought. I feel relieved, and it probably made the tattoo thing seem so insignificant. It was out of my head. Fast forward a month, and we are in a full-on relationship. No other weird things happened during this time, but one night she is drinking, she shares a story with me. She is getting emotional explaining how a long time ago, her cousin was telling her about a new surgery that could give her an almost fully functioning penis, but it turned out to be a lie. She then says that it is something she always wanted and will always want. I get pretty heated in the moment, questioning why she said it was not something she wanted only a month ago. She tries to say that is how she felt in the moment when I asked her initially. I explain how it makes no sense, and eventually she says she was embarrassed. She then gets defensive and says she thought if you loved someone, it shouldn't matter. I tell her I don't live in a fairy tale, and I nor 99.9% of people would stay after something like that. Just so it's clear, I am not talking about being transgender. I am talking about having a Frankenstein penis made from random parts of your body. I explain how it would not feel or function like a penis whatsoever, and at that point, you are just insane. She then tries to argue about how it is probably possible to do that, and I explain how complicated nerves and technology isn't even good enough to fix nerves for a broken back like mine. I tell her if she plans on doing this, she will have to find someone else that is okay with it. She explains that she wouldn't do anything that her partner wouldn't like, so if we are together, it will never happen. Looking back, I am embarrassed I did not leave because obviously she has some serious issues, but I was trying to not be judgmental considering I have told her so many things about me, and she gave me the same curiosity. After that night, I kinda blocked it out of my head and pretended it never happened. I would be happy as long as it never came up. There is so much more, especially how we broke up, but I think the post is long enough. Hope you learned something, LOL.